Well, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folarin. Hope we meet you well. Let's return to a subject we have touched upon earlier. I'm talking about the cybersecurity, the cybersecurity provision. Government is under pressure. Excuse me, is under pressure to sort of stop the cybersecurity levy, by which I mean that many people, have cried out, saying that it is going to increase the hardship. But you know that it was explained to us that this was a levy, half of 1 percentage point that is now to be levied on a whole list of uses concerning internet and mobile banking. Now, there are those who are saying that this new provision, which is coming from the revised Cybersecurity Act and was set up as a result of it. The whole idea is to sort of provide the funds so that we would have the wherewithal to enhance cybersecurity measures. Anyhow, whatever it is going to cost. And this cost to the user is what has been the subject of much discussion. There are those who see that it is absolutely necessary, and there are those who are saying that even if it is, perhaps this timing, perhaps not now. I don't know, but we have an expert in the sense that he's a member of the House of Representatives. In fact, he's the chairman of the House Committee on Electoral Matters, but he can also speak to us on these matters. I'm talking about Honorable Bayo Balogun. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
And thank you very much for coming on the program.
Welcome.
First of all, I know it's one thing to read in the papers what we do read, but we are hearing that the House of Representatives seems to have issues with this particular provision, and as a result has counseled government to consider, removing it or at least not implementing it right now. Let me get the actual position, seeing as you are a member of that hallowed house.
No, thank you once again for having me. The House of Reps cannot advise government to reverse a decision taken by the House of Reps, by the National Assembly.
You see, well, to suspend the implementation.
I think this one thing I believe is we actually not taking the function of the legislature seriously in Nigeria.
Okay.
You see, most of the time, we are always reacting to issues. The act was signed in 2015.
The original act?
Yes, it was signed in 2015, and with just a little amendment recently. And I believe whenever we have very serious bills like this, stakeholders must actually come on board to give expert advice. Because the National Assembly is made up of people from various fields and not necessarily experts in a particular field of topic, a particular topic they have at that time. So it was unfortunate that even at that period, we didn't really hear much about this bill until it was passed. I wasn't in the House as of 2015, but at least it was not actually a well-discussed bill as at that period. And people are not actually saying anything about it, and especially the press too. I think it's very important for even the press to look at when we have delicate bills as this, for experts in that area to come out, deliberate on it. Let's have an insight on the implication, because sometimes the number might look so small, the fraction 0.5, probably when they were passing the bill,
half of
people
1%.
like just half of 1%, or that's just a little amount. But by the time you look at the implication on the volume of transaction, then it becomes a very big amount of money. From what we are hearing, some people are saying it's going to be up to a few trillions of naira in a year.
Yes.
In a year. Then you look at, okay, yes, is cybersecurity necessary? Yes, it is necessary. People are losing money through transactions. What has been done over time? Then what is going to be done by the time we now have this money coming in, because these are the information that has to be given to people. Once I have value for my money, people might not even complain. Some people lose millions of naira. If you'll be refunded when you lose such money, then it becomes just like an insurance. You pay little premium in case you are going to suffer any loss in future.
The point you are making has actually been noted in the numerous conversations that have been on this, that nobody has said that indeed will be one of the effects of
yes, these are the areas. These are the areas government will literally need to tell the people. These are issues that would have gone earlier, even before the implementation. Okay. But let's say that they've actually announced, but within the short period, let them come out with some of this information so that people will know what they're actually paying for. So it's when you know what you're actually paying for, that's when you cannot be talking about, yes, is it worth the price? Because we're talking about cost-benefit analysis now. How much am I paying for what service? So these are the areas that people just need to know. It's not just about the amount of money.
It isn't. And, so I wonder, since the House is reported to also have directed its Committee on Banking Regulations and banking generally, as well as other institutions to, come up with, come up with a position to guide the central bank. Now, when you hear that kind of thing, the central bank that put this out, as you said, even though people have said that the people were not adequately informed, the central bank that put this out must have thought about it long and deep. But now, perhaps as a result of the outcry, now the House is reported to have directed the committees on banking regulations and banking and other ancillary institutions to come up with a position to guide the central bank. Maybe it does appear that really, contrary to the headlines, the House of Reps hasn't actually taken a position on this, but they are calling for a closer scrutiny. And
you see, that's why I said most of the time we're actually reacting to issues. Yes, even on our part, these are issues that would have been done thoroughly at the committee level with the stakeholders. But one thing is like, unless an issue becomes sensational, Nigerians don't really bother. If you're talking about sensational matter and everybody wants to come out and say, yes, this is what we want. But a bill like that, some people just say, how does that affect me? They're talking about cybersecurity. Some people say, how much money do I even have? They are talking about the billionaires. It's those people who have so much money that are afraid. Okay. So people don't really bother at the right time that they needed to contribute to the input of these bills. So these are areas that all the stakeholders, people in the financial business are actually supposed to come and talk about. There are people in the ICANN body, the banking bodies coming together, looking at these implications. You see, for ordinary Nigerians, you're talking about a bill on cybersecurity. How many people will feel concerned? But we needed people who are in the field. You see, the National Assembly is made up of various people, like I said. We rely on inputs of stakeholders.
Yeah, but there's a certain expertise expected of the honorable members or the distinguished senator as a result of the position that they hear. Now, they themselves are not going to be a jack of all trades and master of all. They rely on, I imagine, research assistants. You people have all those supporting staff, ancillary staff, so that you can take a right position on behalf of the people. And as we have said now, Nigerians might not react to these things when they should have. That can only be coming from a position of, excuse my saying so, a lack of knowledge. And that is one of the areas in which the House of Reps, for instance, might have been able to help. That I know that my people
that's why we said the CBN ought to have actually done that before actually bringing out this implementation. So let's say they're now taking the...
There are people who are saying that we didn't know when the first reading happened. We didn't know when the second reading happened. There are people who are saying that.
You see, that that's the area that I said that average Nigerians don't actually bother about what happens around us. Even not in the National Assembly, even in our various state assemblies, even in our various local governments. Some people don't even know the function of a local government councillor is to make laws, their bylaws. So people don't even know. So, and sometimes when you have issues with some of these laws, instead of coming out and criticizing the government, yes, the bodies who are, the professional bodies are there to thoroughly look at these issues and proffer amendments.
But this is like
so these are issues so that we it's not everything that the executive can actually handle. This it was an outcome of a law, a bill that has been passed, now a law. So the executive cannot take action on it contrary to what is actually stated in the law. But what we can do is when the professional comes, because as it is now, many of us are just talking yet. We have not actually seen the impact. We have not actually known if it
maybe
is worth it
seen
or
the law
not.
to study it properly.
So we're talking about just the percentage and the money. We don't even know what is going to be the impact of the function of the job to be done. If it's going to save me 500 naira and I'm going to pay 50 kobo, I'm not going to be bothered by the 50 kobo alone. I'm going to be bothered by the 500 naira that will be saved.
Okay.
So people still need to be orientated. Look, an average Nigerian is not ready to pay insurance. If you tell an average Nigerian, please come and buy an insurance policy, I don't want me to die.
It's a hard sell. It's a hard sell.
This is just like an insurance policy. So it's going to be very difficult for government to sell. Not that because it's not good, but because, look, who told you I'm going to lose money? Why do I have to pay so much?
People are just not knowledgeable enough.
Yes, that is the area we are now going to start working on. And that's just the advice the National Assembly has just given the Committee on Banking to go out, talk about these issues, talk to the relevant institutions, so that if they need to discuss call a stakeholders meeting, let's put out more information into the public. So they've not actually... they are not actually criticizing. They are actually just advising way to go. So that by the time we all see it, it's going to become all our responsibilities to go to our various local government and various constituency to educate the people at our own level, apart from the banking sectors. Okay. So these are the issues that we know. But in all, we should pay more attention to the National Assembly. It's not just about this one. There are a lot of bills that are being passed where we call for public hearing. You hardly see stakeholders coming. Okay. When the one during the last constitutional amendment, the day they came to Lagos, the Committee on Constitutional Amendment came to Lagos for public hearing, the hall was empty. And that was the time we had the NSAS protest. And the state police was on the burner at that period. It passed at the National Assembly. It went for stakeholders, for the public hearing, but never made it back because people who are in support of state police never came out to say, yeah, we are in support of state police. Okay. Well. Lagos, that NSAS actually caused so much lives and properties, people never came out on that day. The hall was virtually empty. And that is the kind of thing we are talking about. That was the time people who made the impact. The president cannot just change the law. The president cannot take actions different from what you have in the law. As at that period up to today, security is still in the purview of the federal government. Okay, so unless we now remove it. Now we have also passed it we are done the same thing again. We are going to go for public hearing, and we pray that people come out this time around to support the state police. Okay, you're talking about state police. The role of the legislator. Of the role of the legislature. The need for people to be very conversant with what we do, and also come out when they need to. It is not when the law has been passed, then we now start reacting. We must be proactive. We must know that the National Assembly can never do anything without their input. Their input matters. So let's leave that there then, since, as you've explained, the Cybersecurity Levy and matters arising is, shall we say, it's an ongoing matter of investigation. And the House hasn't really, to the best of your knowledge, taken a position on it.
even though the reports say that it was raised by an honorable member of the House, but we'll leave that.
No, naturally, it's an issue, so it becomes a matter of urgent importance at that level. So
it was raised by the House minority.
Yes, it must
leader.
be raised
exactly.
so that people will actually start doing something about it.
Okay.
And that's what we're also doing here.
Okay.
And it's explaining to the people. I know how many people have actually explained to within the last few days.
But okay. I actually spoke, when I was introducing you, also introduced you as the chairman of the House Committee on Electoral Matters. And that might be an area in which
that is the area Nigerians are
very much more interested in. Tell me what work has been going on concerning electoral matters, because we're going to have to switch as a result of, what you've said. Say, okay, let's now concentrate on your area of specialization, electoral matters.
Well, like I said, Nigerians are actually very, very interested in controversial issues like this. The election is the most controversial issue in Nigeria.
Have there been any developments then?
Yes, we've been doing so much. Yes,
what would be
in fact, during the
work of your committee?
During the last amendments, the most important aspect of that amendment that actually changed
the electoral.
Yes, the 2022 amendment. The most important part of that legislation is the introduction of the beavers. But to so many people, it's more about the transmitting of the results. But to me, the introduction of the beavers actually changed the narrative. As of today, accreditation was actually where people do most of the double voting and all this stuff. But by introduction of the beavers,
which is
actually stopped
for biometric
voters accreditation.
Yes, just that.
System.
Before you continue, sir, Reverend Dominic has called in. Let me find out exactly. Good morning to you, Reverend Dominic.
Good morning, Chief Yori. How are you today?
Very well, thank you.
Good morning to your guest.
Yes.
Good morning.
Honorable Balogun.
Honorable Balogun, first, I want to ask Honorable, is he not worried that since government, since 1999 till now, all the, what do you call it, all the words, what I use now, whenever you issue a statement from House of Reps, the government doesn't keep it. Does it bother you? I've heard that you said they should suspend this cyber cafe 5%. But they will not leave, not because of this government, since 1999. Does it bother legislators that when they issue some statement, it's ignored and they move on? That's number one. Let me answer, Honorable, on the issue of public hearing. Honorable, you are fighting from National Assembly to have independent candidates. Why should I, Reverend Dominic, will not come to the public hearing and make my opinion known? You are a security man, your policeman will ask you, are you from this stakeholder? Are you from that stakeholder? Are you from Amnesty International? Are you from CSO? I've resigned from CSO for long. I've resigned from Amnesty International for long. At my age and time in Nigeria, I'm supposed to make my own opinion known. And let me give my opinion on state police. And I'm giving you an example, I will close. If Dr. has come to Abuja 3 weeks ago with state police, do you know what could happen when federal police will feel more speeder than state police? What happened with Dr. coming to protect his principal not to be arrested by EFCC, which is normal? Come and answer. If Dr. has come with state police, could you paint a picture what could have happened? This is what I want to tell you. One is that there must be individual making his own position known on public hearing, which I have denied several times. And again, let the National Assembly harmonize taxes is too much. To Chief Yori, it comes back to what I said yesterday. Communication, information. This government must come out clean to inform Nigerians what they want to do. Mr. President has good intentions, but Yori, you must communicate it well. A teacher is not a teacher until communicate well. You may be a teacher with all the certificates, but we're able to communicate to your students the intentions, the purpose of a course. This government is not communicating well. And I think, I talked to a judge with support me yesterday, that we need a good, effective Minister of Information to communicate to Nigerians. We're in dire stress. The policies are good. It's painful. Yes, you will do operation without some pain, but you must tell the patient, this is the pain, this is the gain. So the patient will be prepared for the pain and the gain. Communication, information is important for this government. Please, God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Reverend Dominic.
Thank you, Reverend Dominic. You see, when it comes to communication, I said Nigerians, we only love the sensational part of information. Today, I believe there are so many medias now that are actually chunking out information. If you read through your phone every day, there will be these headlines. But people will only read only the one that they feel is very important to them.
Okay,
so now,
what you are saying, sir, is that
it's the culture of
what
reading.
Reverend Dominic is saying. You are saying that the information might be out there,
yes,
but
there are a lot of
not catch the eyes of most Nigerians.
Yes,
at the time,
unless it becomes sensational. That's what they love. So now that people are talking about look on the let me tell you something.
When you say sensational,
few weeks ago, if anything had become
until it moves to the front page.
Yes.
Because when you say sensational,
yes.
You know, it's
yes,
nothing sensational.
everybody's talking about it.
Half of 1%.
Now, what we're talking about is that if this thing was put out about a few weeks ago, and they're talking about it, cybersecurity, the person will just flip to the next page.
Because it doesn't
understand what
they don't understand.
Yes.
The news is out there, but was not interpreted.
Yes.
Until we are now told that it is starting in 2 weeks' time. You will be incurring
that
half of 1% extra charge.
Go and do your NIN number today. Every Nigerian will not go until it's about 2 days to close. Until it's affecting your phone. So we have our own problems too. Generally, as Nigerians, we need to change our attitude to responding to information. Yes, do we still have to do more? Yes, we are Nigerians. We know if the way we catch information is by dramatizing it, then let's go and dramatize it.
No,
what I'm saying is
dramatizing as
if you have to
go,
what I'm saying is if you have to go do some programs.
No, okay.
Yes.
That is not dramatizing, because what you are saying is what Reverend Dominic is saying in a different sort of a way, that it might be that you might take on behalf of your constituents the position of, this thing has not been noted by my constituents yet, but it's my responsibility.
Yes.
These people,
everybody go
I
back
need
to
to create fora.
That's what we are talking about.
Yes. That's not dramatizing, sir. That's not dramatizing.
What?
That's bringing to the fore things that you know are likely to become issues much later on. And because you said rightly that this thing,
sometimes
yesterday.
Sometimes in information dispensation that there are some programs you do. You even engage the the people in the theater art to start doing some programs that will actually educate people.
Okay.
Some years back, there was this program there. I think I know, or something like that, or yes, I know. It's about children, educating children about dog abuse, sex, and all those stuff. Okay. So there was this drama then that they were actually chunking out to start educating children and teenagers on that
because
aspect.
We have a problem of drug abuse.
Drug abuse. So
and it was important enough.
What I'm actually talking about.
Okay, that's
if you have to go do some of these programs to make sure. Yaga Africa is doing something on Election 101 now on one of the TV stations, talking about the election, because it's after the news, people are watching the news, and they now talk about, they go to the public, they talk to people in public, so people get interested because they have public, at least, talking about this program, the people in the common man on the street talking about it. So we have to use every opportunity and every size.
Which has not happened in this case.
I'm here now talking about it. People from my constituency will be listening. Nigerians will be listening. Every one of us should actually go out there, start letting our people know.
While you were speaking, Mr. Ibrahim called in from Kano. From Kaduna. Good morning, Ibrahim.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you, sir.
And good morning to your guests.
Good morning.
Ibrahim from Kaduna.
Yes.
Good day to both of you. You see,
thank you.
What your guest there is saying this morning, to be frank with you, I am not really happy for them. Are they not our representatives? Is it until we come out outcry before they should do what they're supposed to do for us rightly? No. I disagree with him in total. They should know what to do at the first place before coming out. Not until we at least we carried out all our outcry here before they should do it. These things should totally cancel. We are not going to continue like this, Uncle Yori. This topic to me, from what is emanated from him, is not palatable for all Nigerians. How? Now look at government just say that they want to do something. Them and Labour are bargaining, and here and there, with all these high costs that we are facing today, challenges here and there, and they say they want to fix in another tariff so that we can increase it. No. Now look at, it's like, why you want to give me something with right hand and you want to collect it back in the left hand? That is just it. Please, Nigeria, we should try to do things at the right time so that we should move forward from where we are. We cannot continue stagnated. We want very good coordinating and communicate to us fully, not just to bring something that will establish our image. Please, the other nation, other community of nations, they are laughing at us. But no, one day we should get it right. That is all my country for this money. Please let them represent the representative of all Nigerians, because they come from hook and crying of us. They should do what is right for us, so that not until we come out again. That is just my little contribution for this morning, Uncle Yori.
Okay,
thank you.
I'm not happy.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
We are not talking in support or against here now. We are talking generally about how we respond to the activities of the National Assembly. That's what we are saying. That generally, we should not let some of these issues, if people have actually shown their interest, this is what we really want. We are not talking about people on the street now when it comes to issues like cybersecurity.
No, he's talking about you should have our back.
Yes,
our
what I'm saying. Yes,
our elected representative should actually have our back.
That is why it was actually said now at this National Assembly that even if we have all made this mistake when it was being passed, okay, let's go and have another look at the law. That's what has been said. But I'm now saying that generally, moving forward, we should pay more attention whenever there's public hearing. You see, we are not just the one that will decide this law.
That's our civic duty. That's the civic
yes, that's what we're saying
now. So what you are doing is calling attention to that civic
so that let's go
duty.
and do it, because the National Assembly cannot just approve these laws on their own. If we get to the public hearing, and this is a very bad law, if there's any bad law about to be pushed out, and people in support at the public hearing are more than people against, the people who support will have their way. That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
it's not going to be.
But you also said, through your knowledge, that look, the average ordinary Nigerian attitude to things is that they don't catch.
That's
what
when I said that. Now we have to start putting a lot of information now.
You're now sitting down and saying this.
People more interested in issues now, so that whenever it is starting, we have to make sure that we educate them.
Thank you. And perhaps for elected officials to also be more sensitive than they have been in the past.
You see,
in flagging immediately that this is going to become an issue.
That is why a member has actually flagged it. That's why a member actually flagged it. That, oh, look, let's go and have another look at this law. And that's why he has actually done that. The minority leader did that. And then it has been referred to some committee, the relevant committees, to go and have a look, and then invite all the necessary institutions to sit together and look at what they can do.
So is it that you don't take Ibrahim's
criticism?
No.
I said, what I'm saying is that we are not, what we are doing is not against what he's saying. Okay. I'm saying we are just saying the same thing.
All right. Okay.
And again, the other person that spoke about the state police.
So that I won't